Hey, welcome back to the channel. This is the 454 big block that I bought as a used engine for my 68 C20 pickup truck. I tore it apart to see what condition it was in, and it was actually in really good condition. So I'm just gonna put new bearings and put it back together. I'm gonna reuse the rings and I'm gonna reuse the cam bearings. I do have most of the stuff clean. I'm just gonna go through these bolt holes with the thread cleaner, just to make sure that there's no grit on there, and put it back together. I do have the crank right here. I'm gonna spray it with brake clean one more time before I put it back together, and just do a reassembly, because this was a good running engine before I tore it apart. In the future, I'll probably rebuild this again with a different cam, different heads, and intake, but for now I just want this thing running. So I'm gonna set the GoPro up here for a time lapse and time lapse the reassembly. I've had some of the pistons soaking in gasoline to help break up some of the carbon that's on top. So I'm going to use this nylon brush just to clean some of this carbon, like right here that's on the sides. The tops don't have to be super clean, but the sides, I don't want no stuff on there. And then I'm going to spray them with brake clean so I can start assembling the engine. It's very similar to the way we clean the pistons in the Barracuda video. So the pistons, I'm going to clean them with this nylon brush just to break off some of the carbon. I'm also going to run the thread cleaner or the chaser, the tap and die, whatever you want to call this. It's 3/8 24, and I'm going to do both the nut and the stud. So I'll just time lapse a little bit so you can kind of see the process. I won't do all 8. I only have 5 soaking anyways. So I finished cleaning all the pistons. Hope you guys can hear me all right because I got the heater running. But these were the bearings that I used for the mains. I'm going to use these for the rods and start putting this in back in the engine. So I'm going to install all the pistons on this side. 1, 3, 5, 7. I'm gonna set the GoPro up here. I already cleaned the cylinder walls with a rag and some brake clean, so I'll go over again and put some motor oil on them, and then as I'm putting the pistons in, I'll spray them with some WD-40 and then tap them in. So I'm going to split these videos up. I'm just going to finish the oil pump, the bypass, and the timing chain and front cover. And then on the next video, I'll do the heads and continue reassembling. It's just I don't have enough time off from work, and it's very cold in here. I was just running the heater for like an hour to get it warm enough to work in here. So real quick, whenever you work on these, there's two bypass valves. There's one inside of here, and then there's this one. This one I already pried it off camera. Just use the flat screwdriver, go like that, and it comes off. Okay, these are both the same. They're set to bypass at 10 pounds. I'm changing this to a 30-pound bypass. What that's going to do is it's going to filter more oil, and it's going to have more oil go through the cooler. You don't have to do this, but I'd recommend it if you want more oil to get filtered. So this is very simple to pull off. You see it crushes and it just lifts out. The new one, just put it in there. You could get like a socket that's about this size and then just kind of tap it in. There's no snap ring or nothing that holds it. And then this is a 1/2-inch Allen, and then that comes off. And then there's the other one in there. I'm gonna clean this stuff off, but there's the other one in there. So I'm changing, so they're both 10-pound bypasses. I'm gonna replace the bottom one with the same one with another 10-pound, and this outside one I'm changing it to a 30-pound. This is the part number for the 30-pound. It's GM 2516 1284. And that's the one that I'm going to go out here. The one that goes inside, I'm going to replace with a 10. And this is the part number for that one. It's 2501 3759. So I'm going to change that out real quick, and then I'll continue. That one that goes inside of there was a little more difficult to get out. I had to use some lock ring pliers. They're not the same as snap ring pliers. A little bit different. But with that little hook, I was able to get this in there and just yank it out. So I'm replacing it with this one here. Get a socket that's about this size, so you just put it on there and tap it in, and then same thing with this one here. 13 seemed to be the one. Alright, and actually it feels different when it bottoms out. I mean, you probably can't hear it, but I can feel it. Anyways, we'll put the piece back in here, and then we'll put this one. Anytime you do a rebuild, you want to change those out. They could get dirt in them, or just never know. There we go. That's all there is to it. This is the worst filter you can use. I just bought this because I need something here when I paint the block later. And then I'll be changing it for something else when I break it in and when I first start it. Stay away from these. Please don't use these. I'm not being biased. There's plenty of videos you can see out there that, or you can cut this yourself and look at what's in there. It's no good. All right, we're gonna move on. I'm gonna get the oil pump, which is simple to do. It's just one bolt. Once you flip the engine over, there's a little plastic coupler that goes here. Put that on the rod before you put in the distributor. This, Just sits in here like that. It has a single bolt that goes here and torques down to 65 pound-feet. Also, if you're getting a new pump, make sure you tack the pickup tube to the pump. That's what it calls for in the manual, so that this doesn't fall off. And while you're assembling, just put a little bit of engine oil on here so that you don't get a false reading. That's it, 65. The camera retainer, you just want to put a little dab of blue thread locker. You don't need much. Just to keep this from backing out. This is what I'm using as a timing set. Just from milling right there. See that? How the dot to dot. Once you get that, you can slide it in. They also take some thread locker. Get some started before you to 20 pounds. Done. Even though I'm not using the sensor, you need to put this in because you need the spacing with the harmonic balancer. If you don't put this in, then you need to change the harmonic balancer. Just a FYI. This is the gasket kit that I'm using. So this is the timing cover. I punched out the seal. This is the new seal. I'm not going to use this one that came with the Pro kit. I'm going to go with this one here. Here's the part number, 101-91640. I've just had better luck with the genuine GM stuff. So this, you just push it in here and tap it in. You don't have to, you completely don't have to. I'm gonna just put a very, very light film of silicone around the edge, and I'm gonna drive it in with a seal driver, which is right here. So I'm gonna get a little bit of this on there. Light coating on it. I'm gonna have to add just a little bit more. don't want any of this to get on the seal itself. Alright. Put this here. And get the driver and tap it in. And just wipe the excess silicone. You don't want any of this on the actual seal. It's good. It's cold in here. See that it has that square there. Just put this in. To put this gasket in is very simple. You just put in this part here, this part here, this part here, and then just kind of roll it in and make sure it's all the way in, which it is. The torque spec for this is 6 pound-feet according to the JEG's website. Since I don't have nothing that goes that low, I'm gonna go with 72 inch-pounds. It has dowel pins that locate it. So I'm gonna start here. Well, that's gonna do it for this video. Next time I'll do the cylinder heads, which I have over here. I'm gonna take those apart, lap the valves, change the valve springs, and then start getting this all together so I can paint it. But that's gonna do it for this video. I got the bottom end, oil pump. Next time we'll do the cylinder heads and we'll continue working on this, and then hopefully I can get the garage clean and get this table clean here. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you guys next time.